Welcome to the Panic Room, where we talk about all things panic-inducing. I am the Queen of Panic. Warning, some episodes may contain content that may be disturbing to others. Viewer discretion is advised. Now let the games begin. So I genuinely don't know where to put this. Maybe it's paranormal, maybe it's a stalker. But for the sake of the story, I'll put it under a stalker. Because even though that is super scary, it sounds more sane. I am 23 and female, and I live on a corner lot. I have had my fair share of dudes or girls doing weird stuff to me on the internet, or more specifically in Messenger on Facebook. So it wouldn't fully surprise me if this is what that is in real life. On to the story. I remembered like it was yesterday because I was home alone and had terrible anxiety all night and had no idea why. My dog acted weird a couple times too. So, for context, my room used to be a garage, so there are no windows, but there is a huge sliding glass door on one wall leading to my front porch, which we have curtains over for privacy. The entire night, I felt uncomfortable and like I was being watched. The next morning, I woke up and noticed that all of the patio furniture was moved and facing my glass door, as if someone was facing my room and sitting and watching. This has happened 3 times now. I have no idea why this is happening or who is doing it, but my dog won't hesitate to bite, and I bought a gun. Once upon a time, a couple years ago, I had a friend who was an escort. She had been addicted to drugs, and to get money for said drugs, she would meet weird men for their money. We tried to get her to stop, but if you know anything about addiction, you know that was not going to happen. Anyways, one day she asked me to go with her to do laundry. Her parents didn't trust her to go alone because they didn't think she would stay sober, and she was in the let's lie and try to convince everyone they're crazy and I'm sober phase. So just like her parents, I thought that if I went with, then she would stay sober. I also thought the fact that she asked me was progress and that she wouldn't put me into a sketchy situation. Boy, was I wrong. We get there and I'm waiting in the car. She told me it would be a quick pickup because she was just picking up said laundry, not starting anything new. It was a hot summer day and the windows were down and I was listening to music. A random man comes out of the house and my friend was not with him. I went back onto my phone and relaxing. No big deal. That was until he came up to the car. He was extremely drunk and asking me to get out of the car. I said no 2 or 3 times, but he kept pushing and asking, and I was getting uncomfortable. He opened the door, forcing me out and pushing me against the car. He had one hand on either side of me on the car and me pinned against the car. He kept pushing himself against me and I asked him to stop. He didn't. My friend walked out, and as he kissed my neck and asked, "Gabby, do you know him?" I abruptly said no. His friend, who walked out with mine, apologized for him. I later found out she was in there escorting and doing drugs while putting me into danger. Go figure. Once, when I was about 6 years old, my brother and I were almost kidnapped. He and I were riding our bikes the 4 blocks to our local park, singing tunes the entire way. We got about halfway there, 2 blocks to go, and my brother started to notice a dark blue car with tinted windows for the 5th time in our short ride. They were circling us. Me being 6 years old, I was oblivious. But my brother had stopped singing, and he slowed down to be closer to me. The car circled one more time before pulling up directly in front of us, in the path that we were riding. We were nearly knocked over. Luckily, we caught our footing, and my brother slowly backed us away from the car, standing in front of me protectively the entire time. I cowered behind him, hiding my face the entire time. 4 men got out of the car. 3 stayed back, while the biggest one came closer. Luckily, there was still about 8 to 10 feet between us and them. In a very deep and creepy, or at least to my 6-year-old ears, tone, they then asked where our parents were, and very clichély asked if we wanted candy. Luckily, we were bombarded with stranger danger from very young ages. My brother subtly gave me the look, and on what felt like a count to 3, we sped off without actually saying a word. The men jumped into their car, and the tires made a screeching sound before they started to pursue. After being followed for 2 more blocks on our way home, my brother decided he was tired of it and made a move. Although we were very close to our houses, we didn't want them to know where we lived, so he stopped riding his bike and he screamed very loudly and for a very long time. So loud that people came out of their houses. The car, thankfully, noticed and sped off. When we made it home, we felt relieved. We never seen that car again, and I still don't think that our parents know. Thank you for visiting the Panic Room. You have successfully made it to the next portion of your tour. Please stay tuned for your next prompt. Click the like button and subscribe to receive notifications for when the next portion of your tour is ready to join. Thank you for watching. Don't let the panic drown you.